Stop explaining your pitch. Ask these four questions instead. And I have a framework for you to remember these four questions. Nice. Be nice. Use nice. What does nice stand for? The N in nice stands for now. The I stands for in the way. The C stands for cost or consequence. And the E stands for end result. This is a nice framework, and we will be uncovering them one by one to ensure that you have the maximum chance of converting whoever you're pitching to. But before we get into the framework, you need to understand that nice is not meant to be used on a stranger. You see, in the previous video, we converted the different levels of awareness a customer has. Well, to keep it brief, the awareness stages are they don't know they have a problem, or they do know they have a problem, but they're not aware of a solution. And the third is they do know the problem, they do know the solution, but they don't know you. And the fourth and the final stage is they know the problem, they know the solution, they know you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to exactly show you how to apply the nice framework to each level of awareness so that it becomes even more powerful than it already is. And the nice framework is to be used only above level 1, which means you do not use the nice framework for level 1 awareness customers, people who don't even know they have a problem. Well, if you want to know on how to convince people in different stages of awareness, watch the previous episode in the sales series and you'll understand. But you first need to ensure that the person you're selling to knows that they have a problem and they know that the problem is definitive. And I'm going to briefly mention, right, briefly, just so you have the context on how you can do that. It's simple. You enter their world. If they don't know that they have that problem, you simply enter their world. You explore everything about them. You be curious, you be inquisitive, but in the right direction, with the right intent, not with your commission breath, but with genuine curiosity. You're here to genuinely help them, not to force them into buying your product. And if you enter in that framework and you uncover the problem and you make it definitive, not only for you, for them as well, then you can start implementing nice. And after you implement nice, you use something called a mirror. I'll show that at the end of this video. Let's get into question number 1, the N, which stands for now. Right? In this first question, you simply ask them what is going on at the moment. What is going on at the moment? How are they solving this problem? So, if they have a lead follow up problem, you would ask something like, well, what happens the moment a new lead comes in? And once you understand that, you will know how to navigate the conversation. But you need to know what's happening now and how they're dealing with this problem and what they're doing currently. And once they start to explain what's happening currently, ask them follow up questions. And those follow up questions should genuinely be you being curious. So if they say something like, I get a new lead and I pass it on to someone else, well, you let them finish and then you ask, who do you pass it on to? What is the role of that person? And what does that person do to handle the new lead? You see, you get to the bottom of it by simply asking more questions. And this is because you can gain a clear picture and you can have the clarity as to what they are exactly doing right now. Because remember this, the more specific you are, the better it is. The better it is for you to solve their problem and to convert them as your client. Do not fix anything yet. When they mention what they're doing currently, you will have the temptation to instantly go to instantly follow up and be like, oh my God, you have this problem? Here's what we offer. No, you don't do that just yet. Well, you can ask for a follow up question like, that's it? Or what else? Like I said, genuinely be curious because you're here to serve, not to sell. The next step in this framework, I, in the way. And this step is all about giving your client the respect that they deserve. You see, any business owner or any prospect that you're pitching to would have already tried to solve the problem, and we have to give them the respect for that because it tells two things. Number one, it does not show that they're dumb, it does not show that they're lazy. And number two, it tells you what not to do. So if you missed this step, if you don't ask them what they've already tried to do, let's take an example in this case. Let's say they tried solving the lead problem by buying a new software, and the software was a failed software. They didn't know how to set it up, and even after they set it up, it just kept failing. Now, if you don't uncover this and you move and you navigate and you start selling your solution in the form of a system, guess what? The bell rings in their mind. The alarm starts going off and they're more alert. And they know that, hey, I've bought a software in the past, it's not helped me, and this guy is trying to sell me a software again. So, to ensure that you're not in that position, ask them what got in the way of solving their problem. And at this stage, you need to look out for the failed attempts, or if it was the money or the time. Mostly it's these three, but if it's any other reason, you extrapolate what exactly failed. What did they try to do and it did not work? So now you know the problem and the blockage, but you still don't know if it's worth solving. And that is when we come to question number three, the cost. The cost or the consequence. You see, people go for this before they cover the first two parts of the framework. And what happens is when you go to a stranger and when you directly say that, what's this problem costing you? What is this worth solving to you? And I will solve. No, the alarm bells just goes off once again you because they know that you're trying to sell something, that you're trying to convince them. And like I mentioned in the previous video, people hate being convinced. People hate that you're trying to do something for your own benefit and they can smell it. Why should they buy something from you just because you can get your commission? That's a horrible thing for you to do, and it's a horrible decision for them as well. So, be genuine, your job is to serve. And at this stage, the cost, you ask them, what's the cost of you staying the same? Or what's the consequence of you not solving this problem? What is the consequence of you staying the same? The cost may be money, time, missed work, a competitive getting an edge, whatever it is. You need to solidify it and you need to make them understand that, hey, listen, if you stay the same, here's what will happen. And this is not instilling fear. This is not manufacturing fear. These are just simple facts because the law of life is if you don't grow, you die. If you don't grow, you die. But you need to make sure that you help them understand this in the terms that's affecting them. You see, they've already told you what's the problem. You already know what's stopping them. You can simply use the same thing and say that, hey, this is just going to increase. You're just going to lose more leads. You're just going to lose another potential high ticket customer if you keep doing this because every lead is valuable. You and I know that. We don't just leave it to go in the trash. It's us who's going to look at a lead, who's going to evaluate that lead, and then decide if we should work with them or not. We just don't waste leads because every lead can change your life. You already know about that one person, right? That one person who you got in your business as a client that just changed their life because of their word of mouth and because of their vast number of recommendations. What if your new lead could be that person? You see, you need to make them understand like this. You need to make the consequence painful, right? Because people move away from pain better than they can move towards pleasure. So the brain finds it more valuable moving away from a threat than to a pleasure. So you need to make them see the threat that actually genuinely exists, right? Is actually genuinely there. You see, there's a small caveat. If the problem is not as painful, they wouldn't bother with it. And I would tell you, don't bother with it as well. move towards the next client. There's always another sales pitch right around the corner. And the last step in the framework is E. E stands for end result. And here's where you need to be careful because this often comes from you telling the price. And this is where you show them the value that you bring to the table. And how would you state this value? How do you show the value proposition? Simple. Like I said, if you've done NIC properly, the value naturally becomes the next step because you have all the data you need to ensure that they cannot say no. You tell them this is the problem that they have, this is the pain that the problem is giving, and this is how much the pain is bothering them on a scale of 1 to 10. I know that. And in my offer, I'm not only going to solve this pain, I'm going to add two more things so that their business is thriving. You see, they wouldn't have mentioned just a lead generation problem. It can be mismanagement, this can be managing orders, whatever it is. Just say, hey, I'm gonna solve this and I'm gonna do this as well. Bundle your services. And the bundles should genuinely make sense. And bundling should always be done in such a way that it's something that's low cost and low effort to you, but it means the world to them. So, bundling, in this case, developing a small system to register all the orders or something like that. But you can tell them that never do an order again. Bundle properly. And when you do this and when you package the value in such a way, they simply cannot say no. And you should make this as appealing as possible, right? Because this is what helps you gain that high ticket clients. You need to ensure that it's valuable. Whatever money they give, $1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, they should get 10 times more value. They should get 100 times more value. They should get 2x value, whatever it is, but they should get more value than they spend. That is when the spend is justified. Everyone has an ROI, right? You have a certain ROI that, hey, I should not lose this much money in getting these many customers. And it should not lose this much money in bringing these many customers, which have a customer lifetime value of this much. You have your ROI, they have their ROI as well. Whatever you give should bring them more money, should make them richer, better, happier, whatever you promise, but their life should get better. After this step is when you use mirror. After this, you take the lead, and mirror is where you give a very brief 2-line summary of the entire conversation that you had. Which means, in this two brief lines, you tell them what they're doing now, you tell them what they tried and didn't work, you tell them the pain, you tell them the magnitude of the pain, and you offer a solution. That is what you do in the mirror stage. And after you mention this, you say, did I get that right? You see, the letters are not a decoration. The order sets the pace. If you ask cost before now, it feels like a trap. So instead of nice, you do CN, the cost, and then you go to the now. This feels like a trap. Ask end result before in the way, and you may promise a future that ignores their fear. So you promising a future is you moving closer to a threat that they already have. So now, how do you approach the nice framework to the different level of customer awareness? Stage one, you ignore it. You understand their world first and you make them understand the pain that they have and you solidify the pain. Stage two, they know the pain, but they don't know the solution. And here's where your nice framework will even start. Right here, you can incorporate nice to the fullest of capability. Stage three, where they know the pain, they know the solution, just don't know you. And here is where you make nice concise, right? You see, here you need to spend less time in the first three parts of the framework. So, the problems that they're facing now, what they did to solve that problem, and the consequence of staying the same, keep this brief and focus on the end result. What you can specifically bring to the table better than anyone. And stage four, is where nice does not even come in. Stage 4 is just you keeping quiet, giving them favorable terms of agreement, right? A mutual agreement, a mutually beneficial agreement for both the parties. Done. Just make sure that they're happy buying your product and it's actually worth every single penny they pay. And after this is where most people go in with the gulp, with the tension of telling them how much you charge. And they have a list of objections, and most of them actually started in this. So that will be the last video of a sales series, and that will be coming out very, very soon. That's it. Subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and peace. Build the business. Keep the smile.